a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
The bits.
Welcome to the Bits, hosted by your favorite jam buds, Robert.
And Charlie.
Charlie.
We need to be mindful today. Okay?
We need to be mindful. We need to be educated, like how to handle our problems, presumably by someone who's older and wiser. So we have that.
We
What?
do.
Oh, yeah. You jerks.
Hi, Darien.
Hi, it's me. I got called old.
No, you
came here
didn't.
to have it.
We
What did
also
you
called
just say?
wise.
Yeah. I was just blindsided. I wasn't prepared for it. Hello, it's me again. I'm back.
We had to call in our Garnet / Ruby and Sapphire expert to talk about this episode.
Yes, I specifically requested this one, even though it is only little kind of tiny bit a Ruby Sapphire episode. It's mostly an episode about the importance or the value of mindful meditation. And that is a thing I have a lot of experience with and requested to be on this one for that reason, honestly.
I still think there's plenty of Ruby and Sapphire that we can talk about in this.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to extrapolate what is here.
Oh,
For
for
sure.
sure.
Darien, it's been a long time since you've been on this podcast. The last episode
Yeah.
you were on was for Hit the Diamond.
Yeah, last time I was here, we were all having fun playing baseball, and now we're all processing our post-traumatic stress disorders. So
Yeah.
a lot has happened to our boy.
What's extra funny is that you were on for season 3, episode 4. Now you're on for season 4, episode 4. So now you just
It's
got to go on
literally-
what's episode 4 of season 5.
I don't know, when does the wedding arc start?
Late.
Late.
Yeah.
19.
You are our guest for those 5 episodes.
I would like to be on for a residency, please.
Mm.
In a
Darien,
year and a
before
half.
we start, because people tend to tune out at the end of podcasts, if you want to tell everyone who you are, what you do.
Oh, yeah. Hi. I mean, you've definitely heard me before because I made sure me and my brother and co-host DJ were on Jailbreak, which is almost certainly an episode that if you're still listening to this, you definitely didn't skip that one. So you have heard me if you're here. But I'm Darien. Pronouns are she, they. I host several podcasts because it's my hobby. It's the thing I do. It's what makes me feel creatively fulfilled. I do Muses of Mythology to talk about Percy Jackson and Rick Riordan stuff, and I do Aragon and Back Again to talk about Christopher Paolini's Inheritance Cycle, and I do the Badman's Orbit, where I don't talk about Warhammer Age of Sigmar, but my good buddy Dalton Montgomery does, and he tells me all about it, and I overreact to names, usually.
Hmm.
Amazing. Beautiful.
And I like to meditate, and that's why I'm here.
I feel like I should meditate more. That seems like a valuable thing to do.
We'll discuss that at the end of the episode.
Before we get to that, Charlie, did the postman bring us any post?
No, the postman did not bring us any
Aw,
posts today.
man.
But to be fair, we did go through like all the posts that we had throughout our break so far. So I think that's why we just released our episode 1 of the season. So people are now like, oh, you're starting to read the mail. Okay, now we can send more mail.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
a little bit of a break.
Well, I also forgot to do my bit. I guess I wasn't mindful. I need education about it because we're looking at Mindful Education, season 4, episode 4, which premiered August 25th, 2016.
Hey.
Dang.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
man.
that's so long ago.
That's
like
almost 10 years
10
ago.
That's 9 years and 8 months ago almost. That's wild.
Crazy
At the
how
time, the time of recording, 9 years, 8 months, and 2 weeks. To the
endless
gods.
march of time continues on.
Someday the tide of time will wash away everyone's sandcastle.
The years start coming and they don't stop coming.
They truly do not stop coming.
Oh my god. Shall we start talking about the episode?
Let's.
Absolutely. And Steven starts off this episode, really, really trying to light up everyone's life here by making a silly little guy joke. But Connie is she's coming in for her training, and she's like, yeah, sure, whatever, okay.
She's very distracted, not noticing that her best friend is currently bald.
Bald, my eyes.
This is definitely something that would happen to me that Steven's doing right here. Just like, yeah,
That you go bald?
I was trying to make a little joke, and you're not paying attention. Okay, I will go over there.
It's like, sorry, I was not prepared for this energy. You clearly got something really heavy going on. I was prepared for lighthearted shenanigans. We're just not on the same wavelength.
Yeah. And for anyone who was concerned that Steven's going to be bald forever, nope, it's just a bald cap.
It's a bald cap, and it's such a well-placed bald cap too that I'm like, it's giving Hannah Montana, where when she just pulls off the wig and her hair falls out, and you're just like, that's not how that wig the blonde wig looks so good. That's how wigs work. That's how bald caps work, Steven. You had to glue that down. His hair shouldn't just spring back up. It should be plastered down with like gel and hairspray to get it as flat as possible, and then that wig, that bald cap gets painted down. Listen, I'm not saying I know this from personal experience. Yeah, actually, that hair, you can do it, honestly.
I'm just saying, you've seen Steven's hair. I think that is a poof, and I don't think it can be put down very easily. He has to use straight up butter to get it to the Tiger Millionaire hair. So,
what's that cosplayer's one? Hair gel. No, I can't remember. It was a very specific brand. But no, once upon a time, I was in a cosplay dance group, and we did a number to Avatar: The Last Airbender. And one of the members was a gal with really thick, big, puffy, curly Steven type hair. And she was our Aang. So we had to slap that bad boy down real flat. So, yes, I know exactly what Steven would have done in the real world to pull this joke off. But it's a cartoon. It's fine. He and his best friend are about to fuse into another entity entirely. So, not going to pick holes in the reality of the bald cap technology.
Yeah. Steven does ask Connie, like, oh, what's wrong? And before she can respond, Pearl and Garnet warp in. Pearl asks them if they are ready for today's training, and that Garnet is going to be sitting in to, like, observe. Because we're training as Stefani today.
Woo! Hey! Garnet made a sign. Connie's got a lot on her plate.
I love the sign, though, because it's a fusion sign. One side is Steven and Connie, the other side is Stefani. Hey!
It's two signs in one. I love that it's so simple, that it's clearly just like printer paper that Garnet has like you can see the tape taped to this like little piece of wood, and just like hand in like Sharpie written, go Steven plus Connie, flip, go Stefani. It's not like a fancy, we went to a printer graphic designer sign. Like Garnet made this by hand, and that's love.
This is something I would love to see a Garnet cosplayer just carrying around.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was that cosplayer who did signs occasionally, but only ones that were, canonical. I did my Nico D'Angelo cosplay, and I did have a sign that said Viva La Pluto, fuck you. So I appreciate a good sign once in a while.
Yeah, don't we all? The group warps to the ancient Sky Arena. Hey, gang, we haven't been here since, Steven versus Amethyst, I think?
Maybe either that or, like, the last time Connie was training or something.
No, because Steven and Amethyst had their whole, like, I'm worse than you, I'm worse than you thing, but they had it in this arena.
They did. I forgot that was, like, so recent, actually.
It's so funny that the last time we saw this place was in an episode focusing on, like, self-hate, and now we're seeing it again in an episode about, like, acceptance and moving on.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's also the time that Pearl died. Remember that?
Yeah, there was that too.
God, we're processing so many emotions in this arena. Brand new lore, I guess, is that the hollow pearls can also fuse into Big Pearl, which makes sense. If the rubies can fuse into Big Ruby,
Pearl would fuse into Bigger Pearl.
It is funny because, like, the holograms what are the holograms? We only see them every so often, and they have such interesting, like, lore and personalities. But I guess they can fuse, too.
It is interesting because, I was going to say because the gems themselves are, like, physical manifestations of light that are coming from the gemstone. Like, that is, like, what this, like, alien race is about. There's, like, silicone-based life forms. The hollow pearls are also just manifestations of light given substance. So, like, are they low-level clones clones?
I think so. I feel like that's how that works.
Like, it's
I
not
also
like...
want to know, is this just a pearl power, or can like other gems do it too? We never
We
get
never
that.
see anyone else. Yeah.
Why
So-
can't we get hollow amethyst, hollow garnet, hollow peridot, hollow lapis?
I could see it being just a pearl power though. Like but like usually
Ooh.
being used for like household tasks, for managing
Yeah,
like a
I was
large
like-
refined household, or like entertainment purposes.
Do you have
because
like your one pearl, and then the other ones are also like your the hollow pearls are like the servants as well, or something? Because that's what they are. They're their servant class.
Yeah, and so it'd be
So-
super useful for your servant class to be able to like have as many hands as you would require without you needing to go have a lot of different pearls.
Yeah,
exactly.
buy it.
I love how Garnet is cheering on Steven and Connie when they're
Mhm.
fighting, and then flips a sign when they turn into Stevani. It's so cute.
She's so happy for them. I love it.
The big
Steven-
smile.
Mhm.
Steven and Hollow Pearl engage in sword fight, and as the fight goes on, Stevani jumps over Hollow Pearl and floats by kicking their legs, and my immediate thought was Yoshi.
It is giving
Mm.
Yoshi. Yeah, it is giving Yoshi. Because with the kicking the leg movement, because Princess Peach can do it too, but Rose is when she pulls that move, it's giving Princess Peach. This is Yoshi. You're absolutely right.
The like flutter kick thing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And as Stevani launches themselves towards the Hollow Pearl, the hologram turns into an unknown child. Like we don't know who the fuck this person is.
Some middle schooler. We don't know this kid. But clearly
What?
someone does, because Stevani reacts really intensely.
This makes them lose focus and unfuse. Garnet and Pearl, they're like surprised and concerned. They're like, "What happened?" And without a word, Connie just runs away.
Mm-hmm.
Garnet also like changes the sign over as Stevani's unfusing, like, "Oh no, Steve and Connie."
she's
It's a
prepared.
split second.
Mm-hmm.
So
Steven
she
run
was
after
like-
his friend because he's a good friend.
What's going on? What's going on, friend? You didn't get to tell me. And
on?
Connie attacked somebody. Insane. Why would she do that?
Connie, she says she beat somebody up. And what she explains is a kid at school bumped into her and it startled her so much that she, like, her self-defense training kicked in. And she hurt the kid pretty bad and just ran off because, yeah, man, that'd be real upsetting. She didn't mean to, but she feels awful about it. Of course she does. She's a good kid.
Yeah.
She judo flipped that kid.
Judo flipped that kid without having the kid's weight be used as like centrifugal force. There's only one other fictional character that I'm aware of that can just judo flip someone.
Judo flip
like
Mhm.
that.
an adolescent boy. Yeah.
Annabeth Chase.
There we go.
Mhm.
Annabelle vibes.
Steven empathizes intensely. He's like, yeah, I know exactly how it feels. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, obviously you wouldn't like do that on purpose, but he gives her very bad advice.
He gives her the Elsa advice of just don't think about it.
Conceal, don't feel.
Yeah, don't let
You
it
just,
show.
You just have to not think about it because there's nothing you can do about it. So what? Don't think about it. And I love Garnet arrives, overhears this, and it's so she's like, okay, hold the phone. No, give the phone to me.
She's stolen that from Steven because I know Steven has done that at least once before. I love that.
It's like, and I think he's done that to Garnet before, and so I
think
love
so.
that as like a callback and like the looking for opportunities within the writing and the narrative to establish like what these relationships would feel like organically in a family.
Mm-hmm.
Like yesterday, I'm working on a bonus episode with my cousin brother DJ, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this thing here. Like, what do you think? He's like, yeah, that sounds great. You can pick what character you want to do first, but I get Carter because we're doing a Kane Chronicles thing. And it's a funny bit, it's a funny line because it is a direct reference from a story our dad used to tell about playing with Star Wars figures with his brother when they were kids. You can pick first, but I get to be Han Solo. And so that family, like lore, just being able to give that back and forth. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So Garnet here to teach us the good emotions, the good way to process things. We're sitting on the beach and she explains to them that fusion has to have inner balance in order to preserve its physical form. An imbalance can cause the fusion to hallucinate and eventually unfuse. And then Garnet proceeds to elaborate that in order to maintain the balance of their fusion, they must confront and understand their feelings.
Yeah, that is some fascinating lore, and it does not happen to gems if they are not fused. Like something about that experience can create the hallucinations. I think that's so interesting.
Yeah.
I wish we saw things like that. We never see that hallucination thing ever again, and I wish we did, because that would be so interesting if
I mean,
we saw that with a different fusion as well too.
Yeah.
Us never seeing these hallucinations again is supposed to imply that every fusion we see going forward has some level of emotional balance.
Yeah.
I would argue that we should see these things in future. I would hazard a guess that we should be able to see that happen to Steven again.
Yeah, that'd be
in
great.
future.
Unfortunately, that's not the case.
I mean, because the idea that fusions experience this hallucination is just like the visual storytelling device to let us,
True.
the audience, actually see what is upsetting the characters, right? Like, that's very clearly where it's coming from to explain like why we can see this. It's not like just a mental thing. It has to be like visual. And it makes the episode way more dynamic, the fact that we are literally seeing it and it's not just like a feeling inside, or like Connie is not like explaining this, Steven isn't explaining what he's like thoughts are like that are like giving him so much like internal turmoil. So it's like, it's like, wow, you did give this great lore specifically so you could do this in the storytelling element. You didn't ever bring it back though. And that's
Yeah.
You're right, Charlie. I think it could have made a reappearance in Future. Absolutely. That's literally what Future's about.
Hey, can I make a stupid joke?
Please.
Fusion is just a cheap tactic to make weak gems hallucinate.
There we go. Every time there's fusion, always.
Yeah.
Jasper voice.
Jasper voice.
All right. But now we gotta be mindful, okay? We gotta get in our little meditative stance, put our hands together,
Sit
close our
cross-legged,
eyes.
sit straight back, proud and strong, eyes closed. And I like what Garnet is the guided meditation is specifically like what this is, because I was like, okay, start to breathe, hear the waves, and let that fade away. Like, don't focus on that sound. Like, that is just letting those thoughts, letting everything around you just not catch your attention.
Right.
And then we get a song.
Yay! And you know what? You know what this song is? It is the alarm that I have for my anxiety medication.
Oh, that's so good.
That is so good. I don't think I've ever listened to this song at like the lowest points of my life ever since this came out almost 10 years ago. But there have been plenty of low moments in my life where I'm like, I think about this song and I feel a little bit better, because it just has that here comes a thought, if you will. It's just such a little nice song to remind myself that sometimes a lot of the issues that I think are huge in my brain are actually not that huge and can be solved relatively quickly just by talking to the right person, doing the right action. It might be a bit of a pain in the ass, but there is, to some extent, always the grass is always greener on the other side kind of moment. Not always. The moments when it's not, it's like, well, fuck. But the moments that it is, it's like, yeah, you know what? Let go of the negativity and move forward.
Yeah, because I think the important thing, like what the song is focusing on, is that this is a thought. It is the thing in your head that is causing your feelings. It's not an actual external threat that is putting you in physical danger. Like, that's very different, right? Nor is it dismissing that feeling as not, it's not saying that feeling should not hurt you. It's saying that feeling does hurt you. So how do you navigate that experience? Like, how do you not let that emotional reaction to the memory, to the thought, to the experience, how do you not let that be the thing that controls you? And I think that's a very important distinction that is being made here. Not letting, it's about, because mindful like meditation is really specifically not letting your thoughts run away with you.
No.
Because that's the thing. The idea in meditation isn't that you think of nothing, that you have a completely blank and you don't do anything. That's not realistic. That's not how the human brain works. The idea is that you are able to train yourself to catch when you're starting to follow off on like a thought or letting external things in, that you catch and are able to refocus, so you're the one controlling your thoughts, not the other way around.
Right,
yeah, that's
100%.
very hard.
It is. Yeah, it's a practice. That's why meditation is a practice. You do it and you keep doing it, and you do it, and sometimes you fall off. I honestly haven't meditated in a really long time until this morning, and I was like, we're gonna do this episode and I want to get back into it, and I'm like, okay, well, let me just set a 5-minute timer on my phone and just meditate and for 5 minutes. And it feels really nice when I'm in the practice, because my thoughts, I have someone who really lets her thoughts run away with her, so
Right.
it is good to practice practice that muscle almost, just like a muscle memory, like anything else.
Yeah.
You're just practicing not letting your brain muscle run away with things that aren't real.
Yeah. The main thing my brain muscle is worrying about is like the end of the world.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
especially, yeah. Hey, fuck fascism.
Fuck
Yay,
fascism.
fuck fascism. That's what the show's about.
Yep.
And yeah,
So they're singing through. Go.
Oh, I was to say, yeah, they're singing. It's Stevani's first song,
It is.
which God, I'm glad they hired AJ
Makalka.
Makalka. Thank you.
Machalka?
Yeah,
I-
of Ali and AJ fame, of Catra from She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, to finally gets to sing,
And they have a great voice. I mean,
and it's lovely, and it's Garnet's first duet too.
It is, yeah.
one could always argue that any Garnet song is a duet. No, I'm not gonna. be
No,
an
because
asshole.
Garnet's
Yeah.
one character. We all agree.
No,
If
it's
there's a song-
Estelle duetting with herself. It's just Estelle.
Yeah. The visualizations for this, the idea of the thoughts that need to be let go so they stop hurting you, that they're butterflies, to resemble that they are there, but they are relatively harmless because they're just thoughts,
Yeah,
I think is
Mhm.
genius.
So we have Ruby like seeing one of these little butterflies and like running off from Sapphire and like being like so mad at this one little butterfly, and then a bunch more butterflies start appearing around
Mhm.
Sapphire, and then they're swirling and they're really swirling. Sapphire's like, oh my god, even shows her little eye, like, oh god, that's a
Yeah,
lot.
it's too
And Ruby's just like
much.
yelling at this one, crying at this one little butterfly while Sapphire is being consumed.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's really how you can see like the relationship there of like how each of them deals with these things
Mm.
Uh-huh.
in different ways.
It's also great because, one thought consuming you is still, I don't know if I want to use the word equal, but it's still as valid as
Mhm.
someone else being consumed by thousands of thoughts. That one singular thought really weighing heavy on you versus the weight of all those 1,000 thoughts on that one person. It's not that they're equal, but they're both equally valid.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
also think it kind of maybe demonstrates how the difference between how Sapphire and how Ruby kind of deal with those things. Because Ruby does only have one thing, and she is going to chase it, and she's giving it her full attention, and she starts crying, she gets angry, she experiences the feelings, but then she processes it. She breathes, she's like, okay, I'm letting it go. It's over now. Like, I felt it. I let it consume me, but I'm going to let it go. And she is able to do that. Whereas I think one way to read like what Sapphire is going through with the like literal swarm of butterflies is that she doesn't deal with things as they come up. She puts it away, she puts it away, she puts it away, she puts it away,
Mhm.
and now it's an avalanche of things, and she's not able to get up on her own. She's not able to breathe and push through it and let it all go on her own. Like, it does take Ruby coming back and helping Sapphire get through that because it has become so much of an avalanche that she can't parse through it by herself. Like, she needs that external support.
Which,
Yeah.
again, valid.
I love. It's also so important. Like, it's
Yeah, and you can definitely like see, like if you look back at the episode, what's it called? It's the motel one where they unfuse. We definitely had you on for it as well, where it's like,
Keystone.
that whole episode was Ruby like being mad, like in the pool and whatever, and
She's
stewing in
feeling
like those
her anger.
awful thoughts, and then Sapphire being like, I'm fine, I'm not thinking about it, okay, can we get over it please? And like everything turning to icicles around her. So it's very much the same thing. You can see how it's always been like that for them.
Yeah. And I think, and that's showing. And then what they're able to do together, right? Like what, and I think it also
Mhm.
shows so much what Ruby gives to Sapphire is someone
Yeah.
who she can feel comfortable with to help her get out of that thought spiral. Because for Ruby, it's just like one thing, I'm focusing on it, I'm gonna feel it and focus, and then I'm processing. Whereas Sapphire, I think it's also maybe demonstrating the feeling of being in a thought spiral. Like, oh God, and this and this and this and this, and I did this wrong, and now this and this person hates me, and I'm not going to be able to do this, and I'm not good enough for this, and I messed up here, and I let this person down. And it's like all of it all at once. Like one thing just reminds her of everything else she's ever messed up on.
Yeah.
Mood.
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
you see
right?
this with Stephen and Connie, where Connie just has like the one butterfly, and then she's like,
Mhm.
oh no, and then her backpack explodes with like a
All
million
comes-
butterflies.
yes!
Like, oh
it's
no.
all weighing down on her. It's something that she's carrying. And
Mhm.
now that Steven's there to help her ease that burden a little bit, they can, both of them, well, mainly Connie. Connie can like relax a little bit and let it go. And eventually she does, you know, she's like, okay, I'm going to let the emotion go and do the appropriate actions I need to, which is we later find out is she confronts the guy and apologizes.
Yeah, which is like the important, like not running from that feeling. You need to feel that feeling. And once you've moved through the like feeling you're having, that's when you can actually start to think of like, well, what do I need to do about this? And what Connie wants to do is she's like, well, I want to make this right. It was an accident, but I have to apologize to that guy. And I'm over here like, did your parents get a call, Connie? That kid's arm's in a little bit of a sling. It's not a cast, but it's in a sling. That kid had to go to the doctor. That kid went to the ER.
Yeah, no,
I wonder
that's
if
not
he
fun.
saw Dr. Maheshwaran.
I feel like there's only one doctor.
That would be like extra levels of funny. Oh, how did this happen to you? Oh, this girl named Connie judo flipped me at school. This girl named Connie did what?
Well, he probably doesn't even know her name because she doesn't know him.
That's
true.
true.
Yeah, it's a school like I didn't know all the kids I went to school with, and I went to like not a big school, but not a small school, but like several hundred kids in my class. I didn't know most of them. So yeah, he runs to the nurse's office. The principal calls his parents. They pick him up and they're like, "What happened?" And he's like, "I bumped into a girl and she threw me on the ground." And they're like, "Which kid was this? Like, when was this? What class?" Like, I'm glad Connie apologized. I'm glad the kid was okay. Like, sprained arm, but he's like he'll be okay. It just practically feels like there would have been a parent-teacher conference. I'm just saying.
Yeah, just a little bit. I feel like Connie should have been worried about that.
Especially in 2016, the like era. I think that era is still going on. The era of like everyone's at fault, so everyone has to get punished, kind of bullshit. So like, I don't know if you ever either you had ever experienced it, but like I was bullied in elementary school, and I once fought back, and the principal punished both of us because they were like, "You shouldn't be fighting." I'm like, "But they punched me first. That doesn't matter."
Yeah, see, that's not good. It's like, oh no, you kids should be allowed to defend themselves.
Yeah. The last thing about this scene that I really want to get into for a second is that when the four characters, Stephen, Connie, Ruby, and Sapphire, all like lay down while the song ends, Connie and Ruby lay down first in their own pair, and then Stephen and Sapphire lay down second. And
yeah, I'm having similar thoughts here.
I'm like curious why these two pairings, because I think Connie and Ruby are so fucking different character-wise. Likewise for Stephen and Sapphire. But I think the only thing that's really connecting them is that Connie and Ruby each have like one big thing that's currently bothering them. Meanwhile, Sapphire has a lot of things that are bothering her that she's trying to get through. Stephen has a lot of things that are bothering him that he hasn't even begun to address.
I think it's specifically how they deal with these things, like in general.
Yeah.
Because Steven, that just continues as a thing for Steven. So I think both of them, they just emotionally deal with these things in similar ways. So like Steven deals with it exactly like Sapphire does, where it all gets bottled up, and Connie's just like focused on the one thing at all time, like Ruby. So maybe we'll have to like keep an eye on that, see if that continues with Connie as well too.
Yeah, or if she's gotten this lesson way earlier than Sapphire did, or than Ruby did. Yeah, and
but
can just
Steven...
not let it. Yeah, well,
Steven's okay.
Steven's okay. Well,
Steven's here to help Steven.
So that's when we cut to song wraps. We cut to the next day. Connie's come back. She tells Steven how she apologized to the kid. They took a picture. He wants her to show him some moves. And
show me your moves.
Yeah, and she's like, "I'm so glad we talked to Garnet. I feel so much better. Oh, I'm so ready. We're gonna do great today." And Steven's like, "Oh, you did it? You mean you just processed what you were feeling and it's not hurting you anymore? And you were able to do something about that. Oh, yeah, and you made it right with the person that you hurt. Oh, okay." And then there's a butterfly sitting on. I also love how like Connie gets to take Rose's sword with her. Like it's her sword. I love that. So it's not like a thing that they keep at the house or in the no, it's hers. Like she takes it home with her. That's so.
Steven's not the sword fighter, remember?
It's not. Connie. No, but it's like not even like, oh, you can borrow my mom's sword while you're here. It's not like it belongs to Steven or it belongs to the gems. Like I think taking it home means they view it as Connie's sword.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which, I mean, someone's using it, and it's not Steven, Amethyst, Pearl, or Garnet. Might as well go home, you know? I'm imagining when I was in like middle school, I had guitar lessons taught to, like, there was a program in the school, and I could take the guitar, they gave me a guitar to practice with. I could take it home, practice, bring it back, take it. But then at the end of the year, I had to give it back for like next year for the next people who were going to join the program.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's exactly like that, but that is what I'm imagining.
Yeah, and of course, the butterfly is right on top of the sword too.
Yep. Yeah.
Symbolic.
Yeah.
Oh, just a little bit of good symbolism thrown at us.
We're back at the ancient sky arena. Stevani is going up against 3 hollow pearls. Garnet and Pearl, they're ecstatic.
Cheering. They're doing
No
great.
sign. There's no sign.
No sign. RIP
Rip.
sign. That's my little guy. Stevani thrusts their sword into one hollow pearl and then starts to hallucinate. And they're not stabbing a hollow pearl, they're stabbing bismuth.
No!
Oh,
Not
bismuth! Who?
And it takes-
Stevani doesn't even know who that is.
Because Connie doesn't know.
Connie doesn't even know who that is. And like, yes, I understand Connie wouldn't recognize bismuth on sight. She never met her. But this moment in time that Connie has no context for or anything else means Steven literally hasn't told Connie about this. He told the Gems about what happened to Bismuth because he was like, I'm not going to be like my mom. I will tell them what happened. But he didn't tell Connie about it.
Steven's here to help. Steven's here to help. Help Steven. Help Steven.
Yeah. So that's the first one of those. And Garnet's like, come on, breathe. It's okay. Pearl has no idea what the fuck is going on right now.
No. So they snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity because Stevani hallucinates again, and it's Jasper. And Jasper getting corrupted. And the whole time, like, Stevani is like saying, like, I'm trying to help you. Why didn't you let me help you? All that stuff. Then they turn around and they witness Eyeball.
Yeah.
Huge and like full of hatred and anger and more like, I tried to help you all. And, like, all 3 of these figures surround Stevani. And they get so overwhelmed. They're like walking backwards until they fall off the edge of the arena.
Well, hold on. First, they all break apart, becoming a swarm of butterflies that coalesces into like Rose Quartz's head.
Yeah, that's important. Rose Quartz, no! We don't have time to unpack all of that.
Because the reason all of these individuals wanted to hurt Steven, the reason he was not able to navigate that and was able to help, like, is because all of these people have a personal, like, beef against his mom. It's not like Lapis or Peridot, who he was able to, like, bring around because they have nothing, they don't know Rose Quartz that way, right? They don't have a personal beef, they're just them. And so Steven, on his own terms, was able to, like, overcome the conflicts between those relationships, and now they're all friends. He could not do that with Bismuth or Jasper or Eyeball because of the ire they have for Rose Quartz, his mom, and he feels so responsible for that, even though it's literally out of his control.
Exactly.
Can I make another stupid joke?
Yeah.
Damn, Steven's main issue is his mommy issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not news, Robert.
I think you invented the theme of Steven Universe.
That's in fact the entire show. Rose haunting the narrative.
Here's the thing is that oftentimes, like, yes, that is the main thing, that Rose is haunting the narrative and that her actions as Pink Diamond and Rose Quartz during the rebellion led into a lot of the problems that Steven's currently dealing with. That's 100% always something that's always on the back of the mind. However, because of how quirky and zany and cute and cool all the plots of the episodes are, you kind of do forget at some point, it's like, oh yeah, this is all because of Rose. So when the narrative grabs you by the scruff of the neck and shows you point blank, hey, Rose is like one of the biggest reasons for every bad thing that's happened so far.
Hey, don't forget,
it's jarring.
She literally hangs over us in this house. Rose is here, looking down on you.
In the Colosseum, there's also like a symbol of the old Diamond Authority with the 4 diamonds, and the pink one at the bottom is broken.
Gosh, I wonder if that means Rose Quartz is Pink Diamond?
Rose Quartz shattered Pink Diamond?
It's a lot. And that is when Stevani becomes overwhelmed, that they step back and they fall off the sky arena, and in falling separate. And Connie's like, okay, bet we just gotta refuse because Stevani can float and we're gonna be fine. But Steven is having like an absolute meltdown. Like he is having a mental health like crisis in this moment. It is too much. It's overwhelming. He's in tears. Yeah, it's a lot. He's being forced forced to face all these things that he has put in a box, thrown in a river, doesn't think about it.
Nope, we don't talk about Bruno, okay? We don't think about it.
It would
It's
have
not
been
important.
kind of, I don't want to say funny, it would have been kind of funny, but not actually, if this was Steven's breaking point and he turned into the giant pink monster.
Just this moment right here does it?
Yes, just right now. Don't even worry about it. He doesn't need all the other stuff to happen.
His skeleton's already pretty broken and repaired enough already. Like, my boy's been punched a lot.
This is also big, important. I know we're going to get it in our culture references, but the anime moment, yes?
Oh, where they're like holding hands as they fall.
This is Spirited Away, I think, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
this is absolutely Spirited
so
Away. It's Haku and Chihiro falling in the sky together after she has given him back his name.
Yeah, it's so good. And it's such an emotional moment here, too, because Steven's just like, everything. And Connie's just
I try to help them and they wouldn't let me. And Connie is like, it's fine. And he's like, no, it's not. And she's like, yeah, it's not. But like,
it's okay to feel that way. Like, you have to think about it. And he's like, but it feels bad. He's like, yeah, it is. And you have to think about how bad it feels. Like, and he does. And they fuse. And they're back in the swirling, like, chaos. The butterflies aren't distinct anymore. It's just all the feelings. And they breathe through it. And then they usually float back down onto the grass.
Yay! They didn't
die.
They didn't die. They lay down. They're like in the grass, and the last line they say of the episode is "I'm here" before the episode ends.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
Because I also think that's important. Is like, I'm here. I'm not there. I'm not in that moment that caused me so much pain that I'm still having to reckon with. I'm here. I'm safe. Like physically, and also the fact that they're lying down, like physically grounding themselves. It's in terms of like how like a very early like demonstration on like showing how to navigate those kind of like overwhelming thoughts and emotions and things like that. It's good. It's really great. And I like that they like don't beat around the bush, that it is meditation, it is mindfulness, it is learning to let your thoughts not consume you. Like, I think this is so good to present to young audiences and an important tool for like Connie and Steven both to get. Can I talk about how it's not the lesson Steven actually needed to hear in this episode though? Because I was having this, I was thinking about the gems and how I feel like there's maybe a part of the fandom that will look, especially after Future, and looks back and said like, wow, the Crystal Gems were such bad parents. They really failed Steven. They did such a horrible job. They didn't know what they were doing. It's like, yeah, man, they had no good, healthy family dynamic role models. It reminds me of parents who maybe really genuinely do their best for their kids, but came from households that did not demonstrate what the best could look like. So they are trying not to like participate in the harmful things that they grew up with, like being told what you want isn't enough and you have to conform to certain ways of beings. Like Pearl always tells Steven he can be and do whatever he wants to do. Garnet is happy to embrace the differences. Like Amethyst like doesn't care if he's not perfect, right? Like they all are trying so hard to let Steven live free of the things that would have like hurt them and told and given them those harmful things. But simultaneously, they don't have like what it means to actually come from like a healthy, stable family unit, because the gems don't have that. And so Garnet helping with the problem of they're not able to form a stable fusion because Connie's going through a lot right now, and the advice Steven is giving her is not going to help you both. So let me show you the importance of not letting your thoughts control you and how to breathe through that and remaining stable, especially if you're going to fuse together in combat, because that can be overwhelming, and hallucinating in combat can be dangerous. For example, you might fall off a floating sky arena, and that's super great, and it is a great lesson. That's again not what Steven actually needed. What Steven needed was someone to sit down and be like, hey Steven, what do you mean? What do you mean when those things you said you've hurt people before and you're not thinking about? What do you mean by that, buddy? Where is that coming from? Hey kiddo, what's do you want to unpack what happened with Bismuth? Do you want to unpack what happened with Jasper? Do you want to unpack what happened with Eyeball? Like, that's actually what Steven needed. He actually needed someone to be like, hey, why do you feel that you need to pack those things away, buddy? Hey man, hey guy,
you
hey kid, kid.
He needed a therapist?
Yeah, that's really what Garnet should have done. If Garnet knew that that was an option. Garnet doesn't know that that's the thing. Garnet knows how to help fusions be stable and keep you safe. But what Steven really needed was someone to be like, so now that we've had that conversation and we're back home and Connie is gone, hey buddy, do you want to talk about what I heard earlier about pushing down those feelings? How long has that been going on? I know we really talked about like Connie and what happened at school, but hey man, hey kid, hey buddy, what's going on with you?
And like the people that Steven feels comfortable talking about things with, like
Mhm.
if it wasn't gem related, it would be Greg. But Greg, if it becomes gem related, he's like, well, I have no idea where to proceed with this.
You know, Stubal, if every podcast were perfect, we wouldn't have the bets, you know?
Oh, okay, roll credits, I guess.
If every port check were perfect, we wouldn't have hot dogs.
Like, Greg can only do so much there. And like Connie right now, this is Connie like doing her best at that, but she also like doesn't have all the tools for helping Steven. She is also just a kid who also has her own stuff to deal with.
She's
So,
just
like,
yeah.
a kid,
who does Steven have to
and
talk
life
to
is
about
a
these
nightmare.
Exactly. He doesn't have anyone, but he could. Like, I think
He could.
if any of the gems knew that that's what he was going through, they would want him to talk about it with them, right? Like, I think if he tried, it's not like any of them would tell him to shut it down, push it away. They just don't know that they have to draw that out of Steven, that he's 13
Yeah.
years old, and you have to kind of help kids talk about those kind of things because and Steve, I think the other problem is that Steven's so willing to share everything. He's so, like, all they've
Yes.
known is the young Steven who is so uninhibited that he shares every thought in his head and every feeling he's having. That I think the other thing is the gyms don't know Steven is becoming a person who is keeping those things in. And that's the other thing that
Yeah.
Garnet should have. Once she heard Steven say that he is pushing things down and not thinking about it, she should have tried to draw that out and interrogate it, but she doesn't have the tools for it. None of them do.
None of them do.
Yeah, because Steven's been hiding things from them for how long now?
Yeah.
Like, he's gotten used to it. He's gotten used to also taking care of the gems in one of my least favorite episodes, The Test, where I think that's like the start of Steven maturing faster than they are and trying to take care of them as their caregiver. But like, yeah, Steven needs help. Steven needs therapy. Steven needs a hug.
Steven needs help.
Yeah, and it's all, I mean, like, this is a start, and I think all the gems are trying to give Steven the tools that they wish they themselves had early on, but it's not going to be
incomplete.
enough. Yeah, they're incomplete because they don't know. They just don't know. And when they find out, they try to do more. They try to do their best, and they try so hard. And I think it's way more complicated than sometimes later hot takes are going to suggest.
Yeah. Hey, Robert,
Hey, Charlie.
do you think we should go to the Crystal Temple?
For some Crystal Temple trivia.
The episode features some sequences made by Japanese animator Takafumi Hori. This is the first episode to be animated by a guest animator.
Oh.
Here Comes a Thought is the first song sung by Stevani, the first duet by Garnet, and the first song of season 4.
Stevani is shown to be ambidextrous in this episode as they have used the sword and the shield interchangeably.
I didn't even notice that. In the ancient sky arena, 4 floating octahedrons, yellow, white, blue, and pink, can be seen above the arena, with the pink one being broken, possibly foreshadowing Pink Diamond's shattering.
That's always the thing I hate about this subreddit, was like, oh, potentially, or perhaps foreshadowing. I'm like, you
Say
have
it
the
is.
I'm
I
like, you
think
have the
it is.
context of the whole show.
I think I'll give them credit because unless someone who has worked on the show outright stated that was their direct intent with that visual, they can't say it's 100% for that. Like, we know it is. Like, we've seen the show, we understand that that's the visual foreshadowing. But I do respect not claiming things as facts when sometimes someone's visual interpretation might not have been the intent.
This episode ends without an iris close.
Oh, it does, yeah.
And for cultural references...
White butterflies are a heavy piece of symbolism in the episode. In many cultures, the butterfly represents the soul, with the color white representing the soul's purity. It is also many associations with good luck and moving on the right path of life. This could also be a reference to the expression butterflies in the stomach, which relates to anxiety. It may also be a reference to the Persona series of video games, which a blue butterfly is a symbol of the major character Philemon.
Very good. I forgot that the butterflies usually represent the soul because, hey, Greek mythology reference. Psyche, who represents the soul in the Eros and Psyche myth, is usually represented with butterfly wings. I always love that. Stevani kicking their legs to hover in the air is a possible reference to both Yoshi's flutter jump and Luigi's scuttle from the Super Mario series.
My boy Yoshi, love him. Connie and Steven holding their hands together as they fell is a reference to a scene in the 1986 Studio Ghibli film Laputa, Castle in the Sky, in which the two protagonists, Shida and Pazu, share a moment as they float safely to the ground via the power of Shitsa's levitation stone.
Alright, I got the reference wrong. I'll admit it. I thought it was the other one.
I also thought, like, hold on, this is weird. It says outright, it is a reference. Okay, who said that? Now I want a citation of what interview we got that from, because that's what I was saying earlier. Like, we're like, this reminds me, I guess this one, like, they float now to the ground, so fine, whatever. But also we do have like a transformation sequence of one character, like Haku literally goes from his dragon form and pops back. So I don't know, whatever, fine. Garnet's method of mindfulness meditation, especially the lines, "It's just a thought, we can watch them go by," closely mirrors the principles and strategies of mindfulness cognitive behavior therapy, MCBT, or acceptance as commitment therapy, ACT, practiced by accepting the presence of negative feelings without dwelling on those thoughts. Both therapies have been shown to have high success in treating anxiety, depression, and PTSD.
No, it is both. It is both, because I'm seeing images of Haku and Chihiro, unless somebody is drawing this, but I'm seeing it in the right style. I don't know. Theories. Anyway, Stephen's bald appearance during the opening joke might be a reference to Stephen Hayes, PhD, known for his work related to acceptance and commitment therapy. ACT. Okay.
The hand symbol made by Stevani and Garnet during the song is the mudra for the Vishuddha chakra, or throat chakra. This fifth blue chakra is the chakra of truth/communication being blocked by lies/confusion.
The scene of Stevani facing Stephen's shameful thoughts are filtered through orange and yellow, possibly symbolizing Stephen's sacred chakra, the second orange chakra of pleasure and creativity, and the solar plexus chakra, the third yellow chakra of willpower and taking action, currently being blocked by shame and guilt, respectively. Avatar: The Last Airbender did a similar thing with how these particular chakras and all the other ones. That last sentence didn't need to be here. That has nothing to do with Steven Universe. Like, we don't need to list every other time it's been done, so that feels weird.
A little bit.
Oh no, man. Colin Howard's promotional art for this episode is a reference to the 1973 TV series Schoolhouse Rock, which consisted of animated musical educational short films.
The negative depiction of butterflies is similar to that of an Akuma from the French cartoon Miraculous Ladybug. Was Miraculous Ladybug out at this time?
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
I believe it came out in 2015, so...
Yeah, around the same time.
That's crazy. And now it's time for Charlie's favorite section.
Continuity?
Stephen and Connie are still training with Pearl since Sworn to the Sword.
Stephen confronts his demons from the episodes Bismuth, Earthlings, and Bubbled.
Confronts, yes. Does he heal from them? No.
We start the process.
The ancient Sky Arena shows damage from the events of Stephen versus Amethyst.
Garnet uses Stephen's line, "Hold the phone. Now give the phone to me," from The Message.
The odd visions Stevani sees when under stress in Alone Together and Beach City Drift are revealed to be a normal side effect when a fusion is in disharmony.
Oh, yeah, that's
so we
right.
So we had them earlier, but we don't have them later.
Rip.
Yeah, we didn't. I think we didn't realize here that those weren't just visuals for the audience to communicate like what Stevani was feeling. They were actually what Stevani was seeing.
I like that.
And finally, Stephen uses the fusion joke line first heard in Cry for Help.
Can we talk about? I forgot that I had a quote from Rebecca Sugar talking about why they wrote "Here Comes a Thought."
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
It's from an article from the LA Times written in 2017. Sugar talked about how for Here Comes a Thought, I had been practicing mindful meditation and I wanted to try to figure out how to remember that myself. Remember those tools. So all of it's intentional. Very, the song's about meditation.
I feel like Rebecca Sugar's also mentioned that in their relationship with Ian, that they're the ruby and Ian is the sapphire as well. So I wonder if like that's also like symbolic of how they like feel those emotions as well sometimes in their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Friends, who are we giving our pearl points to?
You mentioned a little guy and my brain forgot about it. It's the sign. There we go. It should go to the sign.
The sign. I am gonna give it to Stevani because I'm so happy I got to be on a Stevani episode where they sing.
Yay! There's not that many of those.
No!
I'm going to have to default to my second little guy, and it's going to be the butterflies, because
Butterflies are good.
may we all have the ability to be free and release our butterflies.
Yeah, good stuff. And for the question, have you done mindfulness? I feel like we've talked about that already, but like, have you practiced mindfulness and meditation?
Not recently, but definitely I have to do it more.
I've tried, and I'm not great at it.
As I said earlier, it's something that I used to do every single day and kind of fell out of the habit of doing it. But folks who want to get started, the Calm app is how I started doing it. It was a really good resource for the daily meditation and the guided meditations because of just the app and the recordings and like having someone like every couple minutes be like, okay, hey, if you have your thoughts, come back. And like that's super useful. But it's also like an app you have to pay for. So like don't do that if you don't want to. Like there's also like YouTube videos. You can just look mindful meditation practice, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, and that'll help. The bell one's great. Also, like I mentioned earlier, I just set the timer on my phone and I do that. If you want to do that, just make sure you change what your alarm sound is so it's not something jarring, because that is not a super great way to exit a meditation practice.
No, it probably isn't. My current alarm sound is a very loud song from Ace Attorney. So I don't think it would be really great for this.
Definitely, if you can, I would recommend changing it for just the timer settings on your phone. So when it goes off, it is something more chill and low-key and not intense. Because when I first started doing it with my phone, I didn't. And it was upsetting. And I felt off all day long. So learn from my mistakes, kids.
Darien, thank you once again for hopping onto this episode for us.
Thank you for having me.
If you'd like to remind everyone where to find you.
Yes, you can just swing by my Instagram. It's Darien Smart on Instagram, and I will have links to all the pages for Muses of Mythology, Aragon, and Back Again in the Bad Moon's Orbit.
All the different wonderful things that Darien does on the internet that we love to support.
Thank you.
Charlie, thank you for making a podcast with me.
Thank you for making a podcast with me today, Robert and Darien.
Thank you for having me.
And as always, if every podcast were perfect,
we wouldn't have the bits.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You can follow this podcast socials at thebitssupod on Instagram and Tumblr. You can send a message to our dime line through thebitssupod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support us financially, join us at patreon.com/thebitsu. By becoming a patron, you can join the Deus Ex Media Discord server, where you'll be able to chat with us and other listeners about Steven Universe, or whatever else. Our $5 patron tier also gets you access to Steven's Room, our monthly bonus show. There, we'll talk about a wide variety of topics, which usually have something to do with Steven in some way. No promises.
You can check out our merch store, The Bits SU, on Redbubble to find custom designs made by Charlie, me. Or if you cannot do that or do not want to support us financially, we'd really appreciate a rating, a review, or letting your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. It really helps. Our music was written and produced by Jason Hilton. You can find him at Negative Selections on Instagram. You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms. I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws. You can also hear my voice on 2 other podcasts. I co-host another podcast on the network with Ray called Of the Eldest Gods, where we talk about the mythology book series by Rick Riordan, starting with Percy Jackson. I also co-host a podcast with my buddy Ethan called Mysteries in the Machine, where we talk about all things Scooby-Doo.
You can find me, Robert, at the Damn Meme page on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok. If you want to hear more from me, check out my YouTube channel, also called the Damn Meme page, where I make videos mainly about Percy Jackson, but also sometimes other fun stuff. If you want to find me elsewhere in the podcast verse, you can also tune into my podcast, The Pit Crew, a show dedicated to dissecting the HBO Max medical drama, The Pit.
So, we destroyed the Red Pyramid and defeated Set!
And there's a bunch of new magicians out there, figuring out their magic and heading to the Brooklyn house.
We'd better get ready to train them, Charlie.
How are we supposed to do that, Ray? We aren't hosting gods anymore.
We'll stick to our strengths, and we're gonna cover the Throne of Fire chapter by chapter.
Okay. I'll be ready with some Egyptian mythology to teach them.
And we hope you'll be listening and reading along with us as we try to be spoiler-free.
Join us every Thursday on Of the Oldest Gods.
Education. I said, I don't think it was connection. Why am I silly?
Why did you think it was connection?
I don't know.
Deus Ex Media.